Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio, your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Hello and welcome to A Woman's Prerogative. We are March 2nd, 2026, and I am very happy to be with you. So we here on A Woman's Prerogative, we provide high-class education for all viewers, and we also encourage our followers to have access to free content that will help you in your journey on Earth. We actually have our channel that is USA Global TV and Radio, where we have 108,000 followers and subscribers and 12,000 videos that are available on different subjects. We are on YouTube and we ask you to subscribe. We also have Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck's channel also, who has 37,900 followers. She is the person that actually is the founder of our channel of USA Global TV and Radio. So it is important that you actually, if you follow USA Global TV and Radio, that you please subscribe to her channel also, because she has absolutely great content. So we are watched on LinkedIn, X, Facebook, and Instagram. And welcome for our viewers on E360. So I introduce myself. I'm Reverend Lydia Fougères, Reverend in Metaphysics and author of 111 Reflections for Thy Earth Odyssey. I am a spiritual teacher and invite you to register to my programs. So I do have, as the miracle worker, Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, who is co-host with me. So I will let Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck introduce herself. So welcome to our wonderful Jacalyn Kerbeck, Doctor.
Hello, and thank you, Reverend. It's good to be here. Hello, everyone. It's nice to see you. So I am the president, founder, and chief listening officer of USA Global TV and Radio, and we are currently live streaming to 12 different destinations at the moment, and we are being distributed by our friends at E360 TV. So thank you to each and every one of you who are watching. We're really glad to have you with us. So, Reverend, I'm excited about this topic, what makes a friendship last, the truth about long-term friendships. Let's get into it.
Well, yes, long-term friendship. First of all, a long-term friendship can start by a friendship that starts right away and then, becomes a friendship that lasts for the 30 next years. So we never know when we will meet someone that actually will be a long-time friend. We do not know. Because my best friend I met 18 years ago. And I met into a Mary Kay course, because the thing I used to represent the Mary Kay company cosmetics. And I'm a person that actually loves car. My father actually was the owner of auto body shop garage. And he was also working in a mine as a foreman. But the thing is that I know a lot about cars, and I am known to be a special person, a bit strange. So my friend that I did not know, that someone had told me she was quite nice, they told me to go talk to her. So I went to talk about my best subject, cars. So I went to see her and asked her what kind of car she had and what was the force of the motor in it. I asked her if she had a 6 or a 8 horsepower in her car. So she thought I was the oddest woman she had never met on earth. So her name is Monique, and we have been best friends from ever since. And we have laughed so much that it is impossible to describe. Because, when you have a friend like that, actually, you can never get annoyed, because I am never annoyed at my friend and she is never annoyed at me. We just have loads of fun. So you, Dr. Kerbeck, tell me what you think about friendship and how you met your best friend, please.
I think that friendship evolves over time, and I think that you go through different phases of your life. And you mentioned having a lifelong friend and then a friend that you met, about 18 years ago. And so I think people come in and out of our lives when they're supposed to. And I think that when you're younger, you have a lot of things that are in common. Maybe you're in school together, you live in the same neighborhood, whatever the case may be. And then as you get older, you have those memories, but you actually have to be able to parlay that into an adult friendship. And I think, that being said, an adult friendship, you have to be a good listener. You have to be really curious, because you might have changed so much from what you were when you were younger, or who you are. And the other person has to be really interested in who you are, because if you're just going by what you have in common or the past, sometimes that can blow up in your face. That can actually just get boring after a while when you keep looking back and saying, hey, remember in high school we did this, or remember in college we did that. So I think it's about finding a way to respect each other and be curious and interested in one another and create new memories together as well, which it sounds like you're doing.
Yes, that is what we are doing. And you're right about long-time friendship, because as I was telling you, I've had the one friend that is a wonderful friend, and I've had her since crib. We were in the same crib, actually, because our parents were from the same village. And we were raised in the same town, actually, which is the town where no racism existed and no one was poor, things like that. No, there was quite no drama. And the thing is that we were raised in a particular way, she and I, and we always laughed. Well, I am a person that laughs a lot, I have to admit. I laugh a lot. And there also is the fact that we were living particular lives. Our parents were from the same village, so that meant that our two sets of grandparents were playing cards together. So the thing is that we thought that everyone else who was from our town, we thought that it was normal for a child to have their grandparents be together and two families together and mix as one big family and be happy and laugh. And that is the way we thought life was. So that was the way we saw things. And when we realized that some of our friends, grandparents, had never met the other set of grandparents, we were taken aback, because that's welcome to reality. Our reality was like we had a magical life, so we did not know the other realities, and we found out. So that was quite strange for both of us.
Yes, I can see that. That is It's interesting, the memories that you create and also what you learn about each other as you get older. And sometimes you'll have people who are married with children and grandchildren, and then you have people who maybe are divorced or people who never got married, and you go through different cycles together. And it's really interesting to learn from one another. But I think also there are times when you can have a friendship for a long time and it doesn't work out because both people are not really curious about one another and they feel uncomfortable possibly with the course of life that their friend has gone on. And so then you have to say, well, is this really a true friend? And it really could be a true friend. It's just that your lives have gone in different directions. So what are your thoughts about that, Reverend, when people have very different backgrounds as they get older and maybe there's not a lot of commonality or even interest in staying in touch?
I think it is true because the thing is that I had a friend. Well, I do not see her as my enemy, but the thing is that I had a friend, and that friend was working in a prison as a prison guard. And she has changed enormously from when we were young, where she was not judging anyone and she was a very kind person. And I met her some 20 years later, and she started talking about the prisoners and judging the prisoners and was talking very harshly about other people in our town. And I just told her I had no interest in her conversation and that I rather not actually have any connections with her because I said they are not there to defend themselves. And I do not think you have the right to talk about the prisoners that way. And that was the end of it. She asked me my telephone number and I refused because to me, things had to be fair for everyone. She had a job. I had a job as registered nurse. I never talk about my patients. So the thing is that I thought she should be the same as me and never talk about whoever is a prisoner, never name them, and never talk about their family situation. So that was the person that I absolutely cut from my life. And I cut many people from my life because for them it was too difficult to have a medium with them because to them it was scary because I can read what is going on around them. So they were, if they had something to hide, well, I am not the best person to be around. So that is said that we change, they change, we make choices, and we decide actually if it is right for us to still be friends with them. And it is absolutely perfect to actually cut ties with people because we are not happy with that, and that is our choice. So, did you have to cut ties with people in your life? I guess you did, doctor.
I think, I don't know, I feel like we all have to at some point. I think the pandemic was also a big reveal for who we were really friends with and who we weren't. And I think also as a business owner and as a public person in the public domain, it's kind of different. It's just, it's not the same. I mean, I found, and I've shared this before, that most people that I interact with have absolutely no interest in what I'm doing, which is interesting because when I was in corporate, I could have a lot of conversations with people and people would get it. But I don't feel like as the owner of a television network that people really have any interest in that. People ask me what I do and then I tell them, and the next thing would be, oh, where can I watch your shows? What shows do you have? Or, but there usually are no questions. And so what I end up doing, what I've ended up doing the last few years is I just don't even talk about myself. I just make it all about the other person. And there's something about that, you know, I've gotten used to it, but I can't say, is that really a friend? I don't know. So I don't want to put judgment on anyone, but that's what I mentioned in the beginning. I think it's about having a certain level of curiosity about someone else's life. And if it doesn't go two ways, are you really friends? I mean, what is the defining moment of a friend? Is it the old school, you know, if you call someone at 3 a.m, you have to go to the hospital that they'll take you? I mean, now, you know, you can get a ride share, so you don't really need someone specifically. So what is the true definition of a friend? What are your thoughts, Reverend?
Well, well, to me, a true friend actually is a person that will be there into good and bad, that actually, you will listen to. Because the thing is that I listen a lot to my friends. I do listen a lot. And the thing is that, they listen when I have something also. They do not interrupt me. So I do not interrupt them. They do not interrupt me. And they respect my views. It does not mean I have the same views as them. But the thing is that I respect their views. And sometimes I say, okay, let's agree to disagree. And then we move on to another subject. That is the end of it. So that is how I keep my friendships going. The thing is that, but when it's too much, it is too much. That is all. So sometimes, I make choices like you. I make choices not to actually further with someone. So I agree to disagree. I listen to them, they listen to me. And but the thing is that I am not the kind of person that calls a friend when I am in need. Actually, I am the kind of person that really tries to manage on her own or with my partner. That is pretty much it. And I do not call many people. I have this, I do not call very much. I'm a person that keeps myself to myself. I send videos to you about things that are going on around in the country, and the thing is that yeah, like wells, water wells. So I and deer, but that is pretty much how I keep contact with friends.
And your videos are really impressive. And I've said to you, I think you should have a reality TV show. Like I think we should just follow you around and what you're doing there in Canada. It's pretty remarkable. And to your point about not calling someone, I'm the same way. I pretty much do everything myself. And there are some times when I feel a little down. It's kind of like, wow, I just took care of this and this and this and this and this. And it's interesting because I'm a big Survivor fan. Do you watch Survivor?
No, but I know about it though.
Well, on I think it's still season 49, Jeff, who's the host, he said something and it really clicked with me. He said, you can watch Survivor for all the seasons. Now they're on the 50th season. You can watch it and you can imagine what you would do and how you would feel. But until you're actually there in Fiji and you are alone with these strangers and you're strategizing and plotting and trying to survive, like you don't actually know how you're going to feel. And I think that that's the same thing that all of us go through, is that we all have our own survivor, if you will, without being part of the TV show. And nobody really can understand what we're going through because it's different for all of us. But when you're able to get together with someone who doesn't judge you about what you're going through or what you went through, or doesn't try to fix you or give you a solution to your problem when you didn't ask for it, then that can be a real friend, or that can be somebody who's a good listener. And so to me, being a good friend means you are a good listener. You're not trying to change the trajectory of someone's life. You're not trying to, it's like a chess game for some people. And it's kind of like, oh, well, I'll be better friends with this person if I'm controlling them or I'm controlling the outcome. And that's not something that I'm interested in.
Well, you are right. You are absolutely right. Because the thing is that if we are actually trying to control the outcome, we're not a good friend. Actually, we're just a control person, that we're just a control freak. So the thing is that, we have to understand that everyone is smart enough to figure it out. So the thing is that we have to listen to them, come back and say, we repeat after them, is it the way I understood things? Did I understand it right? And then, they can reflect and come back with their solution. So that is what happens when we have a good friend. We actually come back, we say, is this what I heard? Or is this what you really said or meant to say? I did not understand, or maybe I want to understand more. And then the person comes back and explains to you, and they come with their own solution. That is being a friend. When you're a friend, you do not actually come with their solution because you never walked in their shoes. That is the way it is. You never can understand a person because no two people is the same. That is the way it is, according to me. And you actually think the same as me when it comes to that.
I agree. And I think the other thing is that many times in the role of a friend, we will listen to what someone says and something comes up for us, oh, that we're not enough or that we're not doing all we could do because someone else is doing something or someone else, let's say someone's going on vacation and we're not going on vacation and we make it about us. So instead of actually being there for the other person, we turn the whole thing around inside and think something, whether it's jealousy, anger, envy. I mean, rarely in that case, if you're really someone who's very heart centric, are you anything but happy for the person. You really want the person to do well. You're glad the person's going on vacation if that's something that means something to them. But when you are coming from a place of anger or fear, as a friend, this happens. You watch your friend doing something and you look at your own life and you start to measure it and say, oh, well, I'm not doing X, Y, and Z. And I think that's what happens a lot on social media when people do post things of themselves and they're happy and they're doing well and they want to share it with people. For people who are unhappy with their own life potentially, or they are coming from a place of lower vibrations, they're not going to be happy for the person. And it's kind of like, oh, why are you posting this? And you'll see negative comments about it. So one thing I think is interesting, which this is not really about friendship, but just parlaying it to social media. Recently, there have been a number of videos and photos of some of the A-list celebrities who have clearly changed their body image. They do not look the same. Their weight is dramatically different. Their facial bone structure is dramatically different. And sometimes I just take a peek to see the comments, and it's absolutely so nasty, so brutal. So, and I think this happens, the same kind of thing happens in friendship. It's like if someone says to you, you know what, I think I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to join a gym. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And you're not the person who's doing that, and you don't have that kind of lifestyle. You may be angry about that because now your friend doesn't want to go drink with you anymore. Your friend doesn't want to go sit and eat fried food, for example. And so whatever you had with that relationship, it's now changed because one person potentially is going in a different direction than the other. What are your thoughts on that, Reverend?
You are absolutely right, because the thing is that we will talk about my friend, my friend Monique. The thing is that, my friend Monique, she's a person that walks every single day, no matter the weather, she walks. So the thing, we're talking about minus 30, she goes and takes a walk. So I admire her a lot. I am not a person that will go walk outside at minus 30, but she is the kind that will walk at minus 30. And the thing is that, she knows I am an exercise freak. So the thing is that she's the walker, and I'm the one I'm the exercise freak. So the thing is that she knows that we are different, but at the same time, we do different things. We are very different from one another. We have two different styles. You would not imagine two people that are so different, but at the same time, so much the same, because we have the same humor. And the thing is that, we laugh about silly things. And when she wanted to start a company at one point, and no one believed in her except me. I was so certain that she would succeed that I would have put all my money on her. The thing is that, I was so sure that she would succeed, but everyone else was thinking, oh no, not Monique, she will not be able to do it. But the thing is that no one knows Monique like me. The thing is that she has guts, she's courageous, she's funny, and she's got the spark. The thing is that, people do not know the fire that's burning in that girl. She really is funny. And the thing is that she can do whatever she puts her mind to. and people do not see her that way. And I do not understand that people do not see her that way. I've seen her that way for 18 years, and I do not understand why people do not see her that way. Her surrounding, they do not see her that way. And I do not understand why people cannot see her that way. So it is all about, really all about what people actually believe in you, and if they will. The thing is that it's jealousy also. You are right. You are so right, Dr. Jacalyn. It's jealousy also. Because the thing is that she can do it, like you can do it, and people also could have been very jealous about you. Maybe they do not want to hear about your success because they're overwhelmed by how successful you are. What do you think about that?
I think anything is really possible. It's people go through different stages of their life, and when you start to evolve, maybe you're going from school into a career. Maybe you never went to school and you're going right into the corporate world, or technical or creative or whatever it might be. And then at some point, I know I'll be 63 this month, you kind of look and go, wow, most of my life is behind me. And I know for me that I've made a decision and I pretty much follow it, because I was not always this way. I don't do anything I don't want to do. And I know that might come across as a certain way, because when I was growing up, my mother used to say, you and your friends, you're all from the me generation. And the thing is that we do people please. We do people please so much that you get to a point and you say, you know what, I'm not going to go to that event, or I'm not going to do this, or I'm not because we want to be mean, but because it's not in alignment and we only have so much energy. So I think for some people at stages in their life, they haven't accomplished their dream, and maybe they don't even want to admit it to themselves that at some point maybe they gave up, maybe they're giving up. And I always say every day that we wake up, we have another chance to be what we want to be, to do what we want to do. And it's incredible. It's a gem. But for some people, they don't believe that, and they get into that kind of hamster wheel rat race where they're just doing the same thing every day for a paycheck, or maybe they're in a relationship that really doesn't fulfill them, but they don't want to go out on their own because they don't know what that looks like. So of course, if you see one of your friends thriving or being happy, or let's say you're unhappily in a relationship and a friend of yours leaves their partner and now they're out doing all kinds of things and they're taking care of themselves and they look great and they're smiling and they're happy, sometimes that can cause resentment, which again has nothing to do with the person who made a choice to do something else. So I think we have to be honest with ourselves about the choices that we're making. And if we're not happy in our life, that doesn't mean that it should flow through to other people who are doing what they want to do in their life. What do you think about that?
I think you're absolutely right. I really agree about that. This is the thing that I am so sure about, because the thing is that when I decided that I wanted to be on my own, that my marriage did not serve me anymore, I left everything behind, and there is pretty much only my friend that supported me. There is everyone else turned their back on me because they did not understand why I was leaving that big house with the swimming pool and everything. They did not understand why I chose myself instead of everything that came with that marriage. But the thing is that she is the only one that supported me, that I was going to a very rough time, and she is the only one actually that came to me and said, I will be there for you. And she never judged the fact that I chose to leave. She never judged anything. So the thing is that, people are jealous when you decide to take the way out. People actually, they decide that they do not have the courage to do it, but they do not admire those that have the courage to do it. They actually decide to take to share their life with someone that they do not love, and then they're unhappy when others decide that they abandon everything. to be happy. And when people choose happiness, others are angry because they do not have the courage to make the choice. So, but being happy, you need to pay a price sometimes. You cannot have everything sometimes. So the thing is that being happy costs something. So you have to let go of the old style to be happy in your new style. So you've got to close a door to open another one.
Absolutely. And thank you for sharing your story and being vulnerable, because that really means a lot. I remember when I filed for divorce and I left, there were other people, other couples that we did things with. And I'll never forget this. One of the guys in the couple came to me and said, you ruined everything. And I said, what does that mean? And he said, well, all of us go on vacation together. We all go out to dinner together. We all do things together. And now we're not going to have that anymore. And it's funny because I ran into him a few years back. And so I got divorced in 1999, I think. So it was a long time ago, but I ran into him probably 3 or 4 years ago. And he said to me, I am so sorry for what I said to you. That was so selfish. But yet in the moment, that's how he felt, because we like things to be a certain way. We like them to be predictable. And, one thing that comes to mind, and people can laugh about this because I don't even know if this goes on today, but my parents they belonged to a bowling league. And my mother used to bowl like every Tuesday. I think my dad was sort of periodic. But so every Tuesday she would go bowling, and then she would take my sister and myself, and they would have these chocolate glazed donuts. And it was kind of like a thing. And so the expectation was that you're going bowling on a Tuesday and that you're bringing your kids and eating the donut. And then when you decide I'm not bowling anymore, it changes everything. It's like, what do you mean you're leaving? And that didn't really happen with my mother. But the point is that when you're part of something and then you decide that it no longer fits you or who you are, then you're leaving other people behind in their mind. Their mind is, oh, you don't choose us anymore because this is what we do together. And I think that it's kind of a wake-up call. And where I want to go with this, and then I'll turn it back to you, is I like to think about a tree. And I've shared this so many times. A tree has the leaves come and they go, right? Like I can look out the window, you can look out the window, there's no leaves because it's winter. And so that's like relationships. Friends come and they go. And then you have the tree branches, which are a lot sturdier. And unless they're cut down or destroyed in a storm, they're pretty much going to be there, but they're not as strong as the roots. And if you've ever seen a tree that's an older tree, you can see the roots that maybe the asphalt or the concrete has broken up because the roots are so long. And that sounds like the friendship that you have with Monique, in that it just penetrates concrete. Like that's how strong it is. And to have a friendship like that is not something to take for granted, because you have really gone through the test of time. And many people don't have that. I actually do have a friend from middle school, grade school. I think that we've been friends for all these years and we're very different, but yeah, we can get together and it's like no time has passed. And that's really a gift, but not everybody else has that.
Well, I do know that you're a good person. You're easy to be friends with, because the thing is that I know a bit about you, and the thing is that you're a good person, and it's easy to be friends with you because you're a loving person, you're a caring person, and you always help. You're always there. You're always there. That is it. And I know that at first when I started with the station. I found it quite difficult. I found it really difficult, and you were always there for me because you're always there for pretty much everyone. And we actually try to be there for you, because the thing is that you have had difficult times. You have had a lot of water damage. You have been ill. You have had a lot of things go and happen in your life in the last couple of years. And the thing is that, that is what happens. This is supposed to be a two-way street. The thing is that is supposed to be that way. It is not supposed to be only you that gives. It is supposed to be us, actually, that is there for you also. But the thing is that so many people took you for granted that you have had difficulty with that because you have been in a corporate world where you have done your PhD, and the thing is that you have not been acknowledged the way you should have been acknowledged. So the thing is that you had it difficult, really difficult, and it should not have been that way. But here at USA Global TV and Radio, that you created, that you gave your heart and soul to, and you gave your heart and soul to us, well, that is the least we can do to be there for you, because you deserve it. You deserve the love of all of us, because we're like a family at USA Global TV. You deserve every minute that we give to you. You deserve it because you give so much. You are a loving person, Dr. Jacalyn. Very loving person.
Thank you. That's so sweet. So kind. I really appreciate that. That really touches me in so many ways. And I think just to take that and expand that a little bit, I think one of the other things that we're talking about today is when you are, let's say, in corporate, or you work for someone, or you have a group of people that you are in meetings with, or that you're on a team with, and then you decide to leave. In my experience, I mean, I only had four jobs, I think, in my whole corporate career. I'm thinking 4. I don't think I'm friends with anyone I used to work with. And it's kind of interesting, not that I wouldn't want to be, but it's almost like when you're not there anymore and they're still there, that something changes. And I don't know what it is. I don't actually have the answers to that. But I always admire the fact when people leave an organization and they're still friends with the people that they were friends with then. So I don't know what it means, but it is an interesting story. It's an interesting journey. And I appreciate you being here and being my friend and sharing that.
Well, it's my pleasure, because I do think every bit of it, because you are a person that actually, you're extraordinary. So I invite everyone to follow USA Global TV and Radio and subscribe, and Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck's channel also, and subscribe. And it was a great pleasure to be with you all. So have a beautiful week, and see you next week for A Woman's Prerogative again with myself and Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Namaste.
Get ready to wear the brand that's changing the world of media. Introducing the official USA Global TV and Radio online store. From our TV show hosts to our incredible global guests, you asked, we delivered. Rep your appearance with pride. Whether you've been on air, hosted a show, or tuned in, we have something just for you. Visit us at usaglobaltvradioshoп.myspreadshop.com and start shopping today. Check back frequently. We're dropping fresh new designs all the time. Showcase your role in our global community. These designs celebrate your voice, your story, your presence. It's more than just merchandise. It's a movement of hope, inspiration, education, and elevated listening. Head to usaglobaltvradioshoп.myspreadshop.com. Your spotlight awaits. USA Global TV and Radio. Elevate your style. Elevate the world.
Have you ever felt unheard? Like your words float into a void, leaving you invisible and disconnected? How about feeling judged, when assumptions overshadow your truth, leaving you misunderstood and defensive? And then there's that moment when someone offers solutions you never asked for. dismissing your feelings and leaving you more frustrated than before. It doesn't have to be this way. Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, the listening mentor, understands. She's here to help you reclaim your voice, build stronger connections, and create meaningful conversations that inspire understanding and mutual respect. Through her groundbreaking books, online and in-person courses, and interactive workshops, you'll learn how to navigate life's most challenging interactions. Discover the power of elevated listening and transform how you communicate. Master setting boundaries and asking permission to protect your peace. Learn to recognize and release judgment, fostering empathy and true connection. Dr. Kerbeck also offers personalized coaching, one-on-one or group sessions, designed to fit your unique needs. Whether in person or virtually on StreamYard, her guidance will empower you to thrive. You don't have to struggle alone. The path to deeper connections and better relationships start here. Visit drjacalyn.com or usaglobaltv.com. Join a global community of empowered listeners and transform your life, one meaningful conversation at a time. Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck is the listening mentor. Start your journey today. Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honored to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USA-Global-TV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.